The new Google Gemini 2.5 update is absolutely insane and it's completely free to use. I'll be guiding you through exactly how to use it. I actually just built this game in one prompt, as you can see right here, using the agent and the coding from Gemini completely for free. Like you can see, it's pretty insane how easy that was to do. I'll show you exactly how I built it, plus some of the best prompts that you can use with it. And honestly, I'm super impressed with this model. It is unbelievably good compared to some of the paid models out there. And this just came out a few hours ago. So this is Gemini 2.5 directly from Google, just announced. So you can see this is their most intelligent model yet. I'll show you some benchmarks in a second as well. And as you can see right here, this was just announced March 25. So they said Gemini 2.5 is a thinking model designed to tackle increasingly complex problems. Our first 2.5 model, Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental, leads common benchmarks by meaningful margins and showcases strong reasoning and code capabilities. Now, if you want to get access to this, you can actually get access at aistudio.google.com, and you can just select the model over here. So if we click in the top right, you can see Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental. It is completely free. You will not pay a single moolah for this API, all right? And you can see the input and output costs are zero right there. This is great for coding. You can see an example of how I coded the pixelated dinosaur endless runner. So literally I just said, make me a captivating endless runner game, key instructions on the screen. Unlike P5.js scene, no HTML, pixelated dinosaurs and interesting backgrounds. Boom shakalaka, that worked in one single prompt. And this is really easy to build. Plus you can get free API keys to code with it, which I'll come on to later in this video. Pretty amazing stuff, to be honest with you. You can see the 2.5 release is an experimental version of the Pro, and it's debuting at #1 on LM Arena by quite a big margin. So let's take a look at the leaderboard here, and we'll pull it up and see what we've got and how it's performing. So this is LM Arena, which basically like everyone can test and vote on which AI performs the best. So for example, like Grok 3 is coming in #2, Gemini 2.0 Flash Thinking was #4, and that's a previous model of Gemini 2.5. So that shows you how powerful Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental is. ChatGPT 4.0 is down here, DeepSeek R1, O1, Quen 2.5 Max, Gemma 3, etc. They're all further down the leaderboards by a long way. Claude 3.7 Sonnet is not even top 20 here, right? You see it ranks number 21, and that shows you how powerful Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental is. Now, if you want to get access, it's completely free. Let's have a look at some of the benchmarks right here. So if we pull these up side by side, you've got Gemini 2.5 Pro highlighted in blue in this column. And then we can compare this versus OpenAI O3 Mini, because it is a thinking model. And we can compare it versus GPT 4.5, Claude 3.7 Sonnet, and Grok 3 Beta. Now, I'll be 100% honest with you. I really love Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Like, it's probably my favorite model for writing content. I'm not a big fan of O3 Mini. I don't use it much. 4.5, I love for its EQ. It's actually really good at, for example, responding to a team or solving problems for you, or anything that involves like emotional reasoning, if that makes sense. So like answering and dealing with people. So let's compare some of the benchmarks here. And you can see for humanities last exam, Gemini 2.5 Pro is winning. For GPQA Diamond, 84%. That is destroying pretty much everyone apart from Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Mathematics, it is doing very well here. As you can see, it's basically dominating all the benchmarks. Now, I always take these with a little pinch of salt, but you get the idea. You can see how well it's doing. And it also comes with new ways for reasoning, as you can see right here. So in terms of reasoning, it's performing pretty well in terms of science, mathematics, reasoning, and knowledge. Is scoring 18.8% versus OpenAI O3 Mini's 14%, and everything else is lagging behind. For science, it's scoring 84%, everything else is lagging behind. And for mathematics, it's scoring 86.7%, which beats OpenAI O3 Mini's model of 86.5%. Bear in mind, OpenAI O3 Mini is a paid model. Gemini 2.5 Pro is a free model, right? Huge difference right there, huge difference. So now we can see how well it performs at coding. So I actually created this game right here and it actually did work. It's not just like some random made up prompt that doesn't work. This performed beautifully when I tested it. And also, this is building on the Gemini models. I'm wondering if it's available at gemini.google.com/app. Let's just have a look here in the list. So yeah, you can select it on the advanced mode, right? So if you're on the advanced mode of Gemini, then you can select it right here. And you can see it says 2.5 experimental. So you can use it directly in the chat as well. Let's just try the same prompt. So I'm going to scroll up and we'll grab this prompt over here. Let's copy that. We'll plug it into Gemini. We'll see how it performs. And it is super fast. Look how fast it is at responding. So it's got the thinking mode enabled. It's like a reasoning and logic model. And then we should be able to get the outputs in a second. So yeah, it's coming back to us. It's creating the JavaScript. I do love the speed. Like the speed is just something that makes a huge difference. Last thing you want to be doing is like waiting all day for an AI to respond to you. That is a waste of time and kind of counterproductive right there. So Gemini is doing really well. Honestly, when the first Gemini models came out originally, it seemed really basic to me. It didn't impress me at all. It didn't seem to outperform even stuff like DeepSeek and stuff like that. Whereas now the AI models from Gemini and Gemini itself is just getting better and better. So impressive stuff right there. It also gives you instructions on how to set this up. So it's like how to run the code. So we'll click over here. We'll grab the code that we just got from Gemini. We're going to hit play on there. And then we've got Pixel Dino Run set up and ready to go. It's a game. Let's press start and see if this actually works. So it looks like it's working. Look at that. Amazing. Graphics incredible. It's better than those Flash games I used to play at school. I don't know if anyone else used to play those Flash HTML games at school, but they were way more basic than these, to be honest. And now you can code it. You just come up with an idea. You give Gemini the code, tells you how to run it. Boom shakalaka. You go from idea to code in the space of seconds, right? If you've ever heard the definition of power, basically power equals, how fast you can go from idea to execution, right? So for example, like a god could literally just take an idea and then implement it within a snap of the finger. But if you, for example, are coding something, it makes you very powerful with these sort of AI models, and they're completely free, and you can go from idea to execution in the space of seconds, not minutes, months, or years. So this gives you an idea of how to use it, what you can use it for, etc., how to get access. You can see some examples of what we've built with it, how it works, etc. Let's have a look at how people are reacting to it right here. So Sundar, who is obviously the CEO at Google and Alphabet, he actually ran a nice little thread. So he's talking about the dinosaur game right here, which actually works. As you can see, pretty simple to do. I've read you through all the details right here. You can also see how it runs in terms of quantum electrodynamics animations and that sort of thing. It's very good at complex maths, which is super powerful. It performs very well on the benchmarks, and it is unbelievably good from what I've seen, to be honest with you. So let's run it through a few prompts right now, and we'll test it out, and we'll see how this is doing, all right? So let's have a look at this as well. So some people are creating like interactive health and economic charts, nebula simulations. I just like the name of that. Let's see what we got here. Look at that, nebula simulation. Incredible. Dinosaur game, cosmic flash demos. There's just so much cool stuff that you can build with it and how you can use it. Really impressive stuff. So I'm absolutely loving it at the minute. Let's run it through a few more tests right now. So we've tested it for coding. It's doing a really good job. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab. Again, if you want to use this for free, just go to aistudio.google.com, go to the library, and then go to create a prompt. Select your model in the top right. You can use this for free. And if we say, for example, okay, create an SEO agency landing page, I'm just going to go with something basic like that, see what we get out of it. Really basic prompt, but I want to test the power of it as well. So we're going to see what we get back from this. And also what we can also do is just get some prompts from the AI Profit Boardroom and then use these as well to start creating some content and that sort of thing. So let's see what we got here in terms of prompts. Yeah, here's an example. All right, so I'm going to grab this video transcript prompt and we'll see if it can actually create like really nice video transcript ideas right here. This is looking pretty basic. All right, we'll come back to that in a second. I'm going to go into aistudio.google.com. We're going to go to create a prompt, select Gemini 2.5 Pro. Then we shall select this prompt over here. I'm going to go over to YouTube and I will grab an example transcript from one of my videos. And we'll use that to create a blog using Google, all right? So we'll go to transcripts, grab the transcript likes, and see how this is for creating blog posts and that sort of thing, all right? So basically what we're doing is we're saying, create a nice little transcript for my video, create a blog out of it, etc. It's working its magic right there. super fast. What we can also do is we can open up multiple tabs of this, right? So for example, we can just go to create a prompt and create 2 different tabs, creating 2 different use cases for it. So for example, if I say in here, create the best possible design for an SEO cost calculator, you can make it sleek, modern, and beautiful in HTML. We'll run that and see how that performs, all right? So now we've got the blog post from Google right here. So this is the article, and it's just smashing out the content. Look how quick it is at responding to us. Plus, it's got nice links to our funnel. So for example, if we click that, that'll go straight to the AI Profit Boardroom. There we go. Nice and easy. If we check the word count on that, let's see how long the word count is. So it's writing 1,500 word articles straight off the bat. Let's read the actual content quality and see what it's like as well. So it's come up with some nice headlines. This new free AI tool just outperformed the big guys. Here's how. Unlock a top tier AI model. Like, I could actually use these for YouTube titles, to be fair. The content is quite humanized. The only thing that, for example, is called Quen 2.5 VL32B. Big name, I know, but here's the kicker. It's free to use and it's really good. This comes from the team of Alibaba, blah, 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 right? And so it's taken that video transcript, turned it into a nice humanized blog, reads really nicely, came up with a bunch of headlines, created a 1,500 word article, linked to all of our funnels and formatted it super nicely as well. And we just did that in one prompt. Boom. Crazy stuff out here. Now let's see what we got back from the SEO cost calculator. Again, the speed is just outrageous. So let's see if we can run this inside the chat. I don't think we can actually. Yeah, we don't seem to be able to. So that's okay. What we can do is we can scroll down here and we'll test this out on liveweave.com. So this is the SEO cost calculator that we were talking about previously. We're going to grab the HTML here. We'll plug it in. And then also we're going to grab the CSS over here. So this is the design of it. And then we've also got the JS underneath, right? Now, if you're testing out Liveweave for code, what you want to do is you want to put your HTML top left, CSS bottom left, and then JS in the top right. Okay, so we'll grab that. We'll plug it in over here. Boom shakalaka. Let's see what we got back. Not bad at all. I think the design could be a lot nicer, to be honest with you. I'm not going to be SEO and tell you this is the best thing since sliced bread. Let's calculate the estimate. It does look nice on the quote and everything. The calculator works perfectly as well. It's definitely a lot more complex than other tools that I've used in the past. Let's see what Claude can do with the same prompt, all right? So we're going to compare Gemini 2.5 versus Claude using the same prompting method, all right? So we'll grab that prompt, we'll go over to Claude, and we'll test it out, give it a cheeky, here we go. First of all, first thing I would say is like probably Gemini 2.5 is faster, but we'll see what that comes back with. Also, I like the fact that you've got a canvas feature directly inside Claude that you don't have inside AI Studio. However, if you go to Gemini, and this would be using the paid version, so I'm in advanced over here, and then we select 2.5 Pro Experimental, we use exactly the same prompt, and it should have Canvas enabled. Let's see if we can use Canvas. So if you go to 2.5 Pro, there's no Canvas option. If you're using the older versions, the 2.0 Flash, then you have Canvas, which means that you can preview HTML, right? So Claude is still winning in that respect, which is it gives you a canvas, you can preview the code, you don't have to mess around with Liveweave and all that sort of thing, which does save a bit of time. But let's see what we get back from Claude versus Gemini 2.5 Pro, and we can compare apples to apples in a second. Other thing to note here is, whilst you're waiting for this to load, is that we've actually got Open Router as well. So if you go to Open Router, you'll see trending right now on Open Router is the new Gemini Pro experimental version. All right, so it's completely free. It's a free API. You can plug that into RuCode or whatever your favorite tool is, and then start using that for coding as well. So we've got the cost calculator back from Claude. Let's compare them side by side. All right. So this is the output from Gemini 2.5 Pro, and this is the one from Claude. All right. So which one do you prefer? Honestly, I would say that's a more complex calculator. If you look at it, it's got like nice little checkbox. You can switch between premium, basic, and standard. You can switch between the keywords. The UI itself is slightly more interesting, slightly more nicer designed. Plus, it's got a CTA. Let's see if it actually works though. So I'm going to change the competition level here over here. Yeah, it actually does work. So it does give us an automatic investment as well. So this number changes based on the competition level and everything. See, if we change that, this changes in real time. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Claude for the SEO cost calculator test. Gemini 2.5 Pro is not as good as Claude for that. But considering this is free, whereas Claude has limits, and it's also very good at writing, creating stuff. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, and then if you want the free API, you can just go to openrouter.ai and then grab an API key from here. So just go to keys, and then then you can start using this inside your favorite apps. So you can see here, for example, the apps using Gemini Pro Experimental 2.5. Number 1 is Klein. Number 2 is RuCode. You got a bunch of other options right here. Yeah, let's just test this out in Klein. So I'm going to go over to right here. If you've never used Klein or RuCode, these kind of like IDEs that are completely free. So they're like coding tools that you can use to build stuff. So if you want to get Visual Studio Code, go to code.visualstudio.com, download it, it's completely free. And then inside the extension section over here, you can select whichever tool you want to use. So let's say, for example, we want to use Klein, just type in Klein right there, and then you can install it. All right. And then once you've done that, you can go to Klein or whatever you use, and then go to your settings. And inside the settings over here, we can select Google Gemini, and you can get a free API key from Google Gemini. But what I can see here is that it doesn't have 2.5 Flash, right? So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go to OpenRouter, select OpenRouter in the settings, and then we'll put Google, and you can see Google 2.5 Pro Experimental for free is available as an API right there, right? Bear in mind, it doesn't support computer use, and it doesn't support prompt caching. It does support images, so it's a vision model, but you can use it for free with OpenRouter. And bear in mind, like Google's API doesn't have 2.5 inside RuCode, but if you select OpenRouter, that's how you can get free access to the API and start coding with it. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all of my best prompts, tips, workflows, AI agents, templates, etc., feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. The prices are going up at the end of this month, so make sure you sign up now before you miss out. This is a community dedicated to making more money and saving time with AI. So if you want to save hundreds of hours and make more money with AI, make sure you sign up. And also, you'll get all of my best SOPs, tips, templates, workflows, etc. inside the AI Profit Boardroom, including how, for example, I build NA10 MCP agents or set up RuCode for computer use. I've got a course, a 3-hour course on like DeepSeek and Manus inside there as well. So feel free to get that. And also, if you ever get stuck, you can post inside the community and ask 543 members exactly any for help or whatever you need. Also, we're constantly updating this. So you can see just this week, we added all these different updates right here, and you can get those directly inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Additionally, if you want to ask questions live, feel free to do that on the weekly Q&A course here, right? So if you have any questions, just ask them live on this Q&A course. There's actually one today, so you can jump on those. And if you have questions in between that, if you want your questions answered, etc., you got some questions that you're trying to get answered from YouTubers, but you can't, then you can post inside the community here, and then we will jump in to help you. Like you can see right here, all these questions are getting answered, right? And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments and description. And on this free SEO strategy session, we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free custom tailored link building plan to generate more lead sales and profits from a website. You'll discover the secrets of SEO link building, and we'll answer any questions you have one-to-one directly on that free SEO strategy session. Feel free to get it. Link in the comments and the description.